Hi, fellow EOers. This is another one of your forum videos. Today I want to talk about the topic of constitution. But before we talk about forum constitution, I want to say congratulations to the Force Forum. They went on their first retreat. They went to Istanbul, and I'm told they had a fantastic time. I would love to hear some of your forum rules stories if, of course, that's not possible, but congratulations on your successful retreat, and hopefully many more retreats to come. So well done. And we look forward to one more forum who shall be renamed Nameless going on their forum and on their retreat. Once they've gone on their retreat, then every EO Bahrain chapter forum will have gone on a retreat, which is great news. Okay, I want to talk about the forum constitution today. What is the constitution? Here's the constitution. From what I remember, every forum so far has one. What I don't know for sure is to what degree are they sticking to it and whether it's been signed and all that kind of stuff. So I'll give you a brief overview of what is constitution. Every forum should have its rules and regulations. And where do you put those rules and regulations? Where do you note those down? You put them down in your constitution. And there's constitution templates that you can download from the EO website, or if you have any questions, email me. So you want to put down all your rules and your regulations and stuff like that in there so that there can never be any misunderstanding. Last thing you want is someone to say, well, you skipped a meeting, you're supposed to be out. No, I'm not supposed to be out. It's in our constitution, and you check and the constitution is vague or not clear, or you realize no one signed it or anything else like that. So you want to make sure it's up to date, and I suggest reviewing it once a year. So once a year, have one session dedicated, no presentations, dedicated just to updating or reviewing your constitution. And if there's any comments or changes, do those and make sure it needs to be signed by everybody. The fact that everybody signs it means that they've adopted it and that they agree with what's in it. So there's lots of things you can put in there. I'll give you two examples that we have in our constitution. For example, we have one clause that says, any minute after the 15th minute will be penalized by 20 dinars for each 15 minutes. All members should attend a quarter of an hour before the meeting so that the meeting starts on the scheduled time. So as a moderator, for example, the moment that someone is late after the 15th minute, you fine them, give me the 20 dinars. There's no wasta, there's no, don't worry, we're buddies. No, there's no buddy system. This is a signed document that you all agreed on. So you ask for it. Your forum might be much more flexible, might have its own rules. I'm not saying you should have this rule, but I'm saying that you should have rules that cover all eventualities, if that makes sense. Also, in our constitution, it says that you cannot miss more than 2 meetings. If you miss more than 2 meetings, you're out of the forum. That's it, without any valid reason. Yeah. So the person has to then reapply to the forum, and you can say no or you can say yes. So these are some of the things in here. I don't want to go through all our forum constitution. Besides, it's not supposed to be public knowledge anyway. What's in here is supposed to be confidential. But remember, it needs to be signed by everybody. And I just want to sort of bring up something related to one of my businesses and then related back to forum. As most of you know, I have a business called the Dream Body Center. And what we do in the Dream Body Center is we have a set of manuals, procedures, and systems. And we have manuals that need to be strictly followed. So we have, for one level of team member, we have a manual. Then the next level, we have a manual. The next level after that, we have a manual. We have a hiring manual. We have different manuals. And what we do from time to time is we review all our systems and review all our manuals and make changes. So let's say there is something being done operationally on one level, but it says in the operations manual to do it on a different way. So we have one thing in the operations manual, one thing that's actually being done. What I tell my team is, look, either we make the team member follow the operations manual, or we change the operations manual according to what the team member is doing. So if we find that the team member is actually doing something that's better, smarter, or more efficient than what's in the manual, we'll change the manual to reflect his behavior. If, on the other hand, we find that no, his behavior is actually not better than what's in the operations manual, we go back to him and we say, follow the operations manual. The person gets retrained and gets, I don't like to use the word forced, but basically he gets forced to make sure to follow the operations manual. Why am I saying this? My point is, it's the same thing with your constitution. Either you follow the constitution or you change what's in the constitution to follow your behavior. But the last thing you want is the constitution to say one thing, but you guys are getting used to one thing and you say, yalla tawaf, ma'laysh, don't worry about it, and it becomes a mess. So you must act according to your constitution. If the constitution is too strict or too flexible for that reason, for whatever reason, then you change the constitution. But your behavior and the constitution must always be in alignment. You can't have one thing happening, another happening, and then you got a mess on your hands. Like I said, and it's very productive to do a annual review of your constitution. And we've actually sometimes we've had a couple of reviews of our constitution, and some reviews actually lasted several sessions. It wasn't just one sitting. It actually was maybe 3-4 sittings until we finally decided on the constitution. And like an operations manual, a form constitution is a evolving document. It's a live document. It doesn't stay static. All right. So what's relevant today might not be relevant in 2 or 3 years' time. So you want to make sure you have a live document, and it's the moderator's responsibility to make sure that this is being followed and that it's up to date, that everyone has signed it. When a new member joins, you sign it. You make sure that they agree to it, and they sign it so that it's kept that everybody has a copy. Anyway, so nice, short and sweet today. I'll talk to you again next month. Take care.